So you probably heard about this. It's been all over the internet, but Pope Francis declared that the theories of evolution and the Big Bang are real, and that God is not a magician with a magic wand. This fascinated me growing up because I would always hear about these two ideas that competed with each other. And the first idea was that God created everything 6,000 to 10,000 years ago and that science wasn't true. The second idea was that God created the universe 14 billion years ago and that science proves that's true. And this always confused me as to which one was the best evidence and why Christians always disagreed on the subject. Now, understand the purpose of this video is to explore what the best explanation is from the facts. And interestingly enough, as I was doing my research after what I read about Pope Francis, I came across a massive conversation between three groups about whether or not everything evolved or created. And the first group was called Answers in Genesis, and from looking at their website, it looks like they believe that the Earth and the universe both are 6,000 to 10,000 years old, and they reject mainstream science. The second group was called Reasons to Believe, and they accept mainstream science data about how the universe is 13.7 billion years old and the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, but they have a specific model that shows how God created all that. And the third group is called Biologists, and they accept the mainstream science data about how the origin of life and the age of the universe and human evolution, but they believe God designed and directed natural processes to create. The reason I bring all this up is because growing up, we always took what our mom and dad told us or what we heard in school, and that's what we believed. That's what we grew up believing. But a professor of mine once said that you have to be intellectually courageous enough to acknowledge your opponent's best argument against what you believe and acknowledge that it's a solid argument. So this is my challenge. What do you believe? And I don't want to hear the junk that you've been taught your whole life or what somebody else has told you. I want to know your thoughts. What do you believe? And I also want to know what's the best evidence that contradicts what you believe. Are you intelligent enough and courageous enough to identify and acknowledge what that is? Come back. I want to talk about those two things.